Hello there, one and all, if you're watching around the world. Welcome into the Drop Spot, talking all things Fortnite competitive. I'm your host, Adam Savage. Great to be back here again. We have got a whopper of a show coming your way this week as I'm joined by two amazing Fortnite aficionados, one and only Vivid and Rody. Vivid, you've been on the show before, of course. Rody, it's your first time here. Great to have you here. Let's find out a bit about you, though. If you are brand new to the show, never seen it before, I want to know all about these wonderful people here on the broadcast with me. Vivid, kick us off here. Tell us about how you got started in Fortnite and your place in the Fortnite stratosphere.
First and foremost, hello, Fortnite fans.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Adam? Great to be back again, chatting up with you. Yes, I am Vivid, ex-professional Fortnite player. I played for a couple of years, and I basically now use all that experience that I gathered up across those couple years that I played and try to be as analytical as I can be. All things Fortnite competitive. Right now, I just watch all the pros kind of sweat when it comes down to these competitions and get all nervous. It's so much fun. And Rody, first time jumping on with you. Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, fellas. It feels great to be here with you guys today. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I started Fortnite a long time ago, making content and save the world way back in the day. And here I am today with you guys. So it's been a good journey.
Nice. We're gonna deep dive into all of that later on, Rody, 100%. And this week on the show, actually, really exciting time because a new season happened only recently. We're going to talk all about Chapter 4, Season 3, and break it all down for you guys at home. We, of course, talk about content creation. Rody's here. We have to talk about content creation in the competitive space as well. The PlayStation Cup we're going to talk about, and in-person events. If you recently, must dive into those as well. But, fellas, we've mentioned it already. Chapter 4, Season 3, it is here. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. Let's break it all down. We'd love to see a new season. We get excited about it because new things happen. It's Wilds has arrived. Vivid, first impressions, first thoughts. What's your vibes?
Oh, it's fun, right? Every single time there is a new Fortnite season, right? Every time you hit socials, it's always the same thing, right? Everybody's always like, oh my gosh, a Fortnite season, right? It's like waking up on Christmas morning every single time. And every single time, Fortnite delivers, and this one is no exception. And we got a whole new biome, all new POIs, some items that are brand new, some items returning, a bunch of new stuff around the map that is so fun to interact with. So far, it's been a blast.
Yeah, like Vivid pointed out, the new biome is incredible, in my opinion. I've loved exploring it, and the season's been out for a few weeks, and it still feels like I don't know the whole place, which to me, that's amazing. Like, I absolutely love that. So I've been really enjoying the new season.
I think you absolutely are speaking to my heart here, lads, when it comes to like exploring like the new POIs and kind of see exactly what's in store, like new weaponry, new inventory items. I think that as well, like, the new, for me, Raptors are in the mix has just been an absolute gold mine of enjoyment for me. I think my first experiences, actually, I think when the first game I played, I kind of managed to hop onto a Raptor, a pack kind of formed with me, and we were just charging down the enemy. It was fantastic. I loved it. But let's talk about the POIs as such as well. Are there any particular kind of aspects of new weaponry perhaps as well, Vivid, here, things that have come in that you are excited to see, that you've been really interested in seeing how they develop as well as the season goes on?
I mean, I always love loot when it comes to Fortnite, right? I'm a very competitively minded person, right? So I love to see the opportunity for some of these players to go ahead and secure some loot. And these new POIs, there is so much loot scattered around them with the new temple vaults that can be found, right? A couple of puzzles to be solved, or, simply just finding the right statue to kind of go ahead and select. So that way you do get access to some of that loot. So I think that that's got to be the thing that I am going to be most, looking forward to, especially when it comes to those all spawn situations in competitive, how those temple situations are going to go ahead and play out.
Yeah, and the new mud, can we talk about that for a second? The mud has been an absolutely amazing movement system for me. I don't know if you guys have fully tried it out, but if you slide and then you jump, you go so far. And in the jungle, I've been a little risky sometimes, guys, and I've tried to jump across from tree to tree, and I may or may not have been eliminated by fall damage. We can always just cut that out of the video, right? I've really been liking those new features.
I love testing the boundaries of what is possible. I respect that, Rhodey. I love that a lot. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the thing is, there are so many things that come into it. I mean, you mentioned tombs there as well, which are really interesting. So with the riddles aspect, I mean, when it comes to, I guess, the meta of comp as well, when we think about loot, and we talked about traversal each season as well, and how that's going to change rotations and such. But now we have rift effects, we have the loot and such as well. You know, are these tombs, for instance, going to be a big factor when it comes to comp as well, Vivid?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the entire new biome is going to be such a big factor when it comes to comp. I mean, Adam mentioned it right now, right? We do have the mud that makes it a little bit easier to traverse. There are the vines that can also help you with making some of those rotations.
Yeah.
But my eye is going to be on those rifts, right? Because every comp player is going to want to rotate in and kind of get that very, very easy rotation across the map. You know, just launch yourself up into the sky and glide to wherever you want to go. And the fact that these new biomes and some of those rifts are, towards the center of the map, it gives pretty much all the players on the map ease of access to actually rotating into this new biome and finding some of those ways to rotate around the map. So I think that the new biome will for sure be a hotspot when it comes to competitive. And when it comes to that aspect of things, I'm excited to see how that plays out, right? What will actually happen in the competitions? Will people try to lock down some of these rifts, or will they post up and wait for people to rift? There's so many cool strategies based around the new biome.
Right. Piggybacking off of that, Vivid, just trying to see the loot paths that some of these pros will come up with to
Yeah.
grab the new kinetic boomerang to instantly give that up to open a vault door and then rotate straight to a rift building, and then they can choose to either go farther into next zone, or they can stay there, like you said, post up, maybe camp on it to eliminate a couple of players trying to use it. Who knows? I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
I think that's every single season. We think that, Fortnite, we think what could possibly come next, and suddenly plants are introduced into the mix, and vines, and ways to grind. I mean, I love the scale as well, like the jungle biome as well. It feels so big, so tall as well. Those trees are enormous. Some of the weaponry as well, you mentioned there as well, the kinetic boomerang. I mean, the Cybertron cannons entered the mix as well here, Vivid. I mean, the flapjack rifle. There's great weaponry there as well for players to, both new and kind of older school, kind of like, OG players as well, to really get their hands on and kind of really have fun with too.
Yeah, I mean, the new weapons have been very, very fun to use, right? We do have that flapjack rifle that you mentioned, very, very good at applying pressure and destroying builds very, very quickly. The Cybertron cannon, I mean, I think can pretty much do it all, right? You can just hit somebody for 100+ damage from very, very far away. If you're good at aiming that thing, maybe you can kind of aim at a building that they're next to make sure you get that explosive damage dealt. But also a couple of like returning items that we have seen before: the jump shotgun, the heavy sniper. Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, the MK returning as well. It's slightly
Yeah,
modified.
yeah.
I'm excited about that too. And just to touch on the plants once again, I don't think we've fully seen how they're going to be used this season, especially the little stink plant you can hit at someone's box or something like that.
So annoying.
We are going to have some fun with those.
I think speaking of annoying as well, I mean, Vivid, we jumped into a game earlier on today. We played some duos together. I loved it. It was great. We had I think 18 eliminations. You basically had 18 of them. I mean, I was just a spectator, but it's fine. I got to play with the one and only Vivid. I had a great day out. But even we were kind of chased down by wild wasps as well at one stage, just trying to get these things off me. But I think go on.
Adam was literally running away, and he was like, "Vivid, like how do I get these things off of me?" Like he's over there. I'm over there like 1v2ing, right, finding those eliminations. And then I'm like, "These wasps, man!" Like it's just like, what is going on?
I love how casual you're like, yeah, I was just 1v2 in doing my thing. Yeah, it's just classic Vivid. But it was great. I mean, that's what I loved about it as well. Is taking into account all these kind of new aspects of the new season, really, and kind of like put into the effect and enjoying them and embracing them, really. But we thought, obviously, every week, fellas, as well, every single week on the show now has become a custom here on the Drop Spot. Is we like to put our guests through a little bit of a fun head-to-head quiz. Battle, if you will, but we'll call it a quiz. But it's really fun actually, because this is obviously a brand new season. So we thought obviously we would theme it around the new season. So for you guys listening, watching at home as well, whatever you might be doing right now, absolutely play along with us. We know the production team love doing so. We all love getting involved in this. It's real fun. But we've got some questions for you both. Firstly, Vivid, feeling confident about this?
iffy, iffy. It's a whole new season. There's a lot of
Iffy.
information, so depends on how hard the questions are. Right, like you can go real in depth. Right, you ask me like specific numbers or like DPS or something like that. But no, I think I got it.
Okay. And Rody, I guess for you as well, you're thinking, okay, if Vivid's gone with iffy, this is mine all day.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to be 1v1ing Vivid, I would much rather it be in a pop quiz rather than actually in Fortnite. So I like my chances here compared to that.
Mate, 100%. 100%. You are on the money there. Right. Let's kick things off. So we got a couple of questions a few questions for each of you. So there's 3 questions per person. And then if we've got ourselves a tie, we have ourselves a tiebreaker question as well. Okay, which is kind of like a closest person wins. So Vivid, I'm gonna start with you, my friend. Okay. This is it. Okay. This is the first drop spot quiz of Chapter 4, Season 3. I'm excited. Vivid, question 1 is for you. Starting off very simply here. What is the official name of the season? Okay, you get 3 choices, multiple choice. Wilds, Wild, or Wilder. What is the official name of the season? Wilds, Wild, or Wilder?
Wilds.
Vivid, over to you. Are you sticking with that answer? 100%?
Wilds. Yeah, it's Fortnite Wilds, right?
Just double checking. Are you sure? That you
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. The correct answer is...
Oh,
it is Wilds.
Okay.
It is Wilds.
Dude, the pause is just so tough. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm sorry.
He was making you switch up.
I think even you there, Brody, were like, is it Wilds? Yeah, 100%. Okay, good job. So 1-0. Did you guys get it right at home? I'm probably. But GG's Vivid. That's 1-0 to you. Right.
That one was easy.
Question 1 for Rody. Here we go. This is your question. How many slurp plants do you need to get 100 shield? So multiple choice again, okay? How many slurp plants do you need to get 100 shield? 2, 4, or 5?
4. Locked in. You can't make me change my mind here.
Now, I'm going to ask you, but are you sure, Rudy? Just making sure you are absolutely 100% sure.
I may regret this, but yes.
Okay. Vivid, what would you have said?
I would have said 4.
Okay. Well, as each are worth 25 effective health each, 4 is the correct answer. Well done. Well done, Brody. Okay, starting off nice and easing you in, lads. Easing you in.
Okay.
And then pow!
Yeah,
Here comes question number 2. Right, question number 2 here. So 1-1 as we go into question 2. Right, what does the new sprint lines augment do when using rails, vines, and zip lines? It's multiple choice again. What does the new sprint lines augment do when using rails, vines, and zip lines? Heal you, give you energy, or give you ammo?
Okay.
Heal you, energy, ammo.
Gives you energy, right? Like a slap effect type thing, right?
Are you sticking with that answer?
Yes. Energy.
Rody, out of curiosity, what would you have gone for?
I think he's right. I think it's energy. Yeah.
Energy is the correct answer. Yes, Vivid. Yes.
Dude,
Okay.
Dang it. I was so
Pause.
hoping you would say help. I was so hoping you would say help.
Okay. So, well, yeah, it gives you, just like you said, like slap juice, exactly like that. Okay. Question 2, Rody. This is to tie things up here. Okay. How many temple vaults are there? How many temple vaults are there? Multiple choice. Is it 7, 9, or 11?
I know this one.
Massive.
Oh, I'm
You
gonna
know this,
go
Vivid?
I know this one.
Temple Vault. Okay, I'm gonna go with 11.
Okay. So 7, 9, or 11. Your final answer is 11.
Yeah, very confident 11 there.
Vivid, what would you have gone for? Just out of curiosity.
9.
The correct answer is 9. I'm sorry, Rody. I'm
no,
sorry.
it's okay. I was so iffy on that one. I had no idea. I knew 5 off the top of my head, but
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one. But hey, 2-1 to Vivid. This is a rare occurrence here, Vivid. You're in the lead on something. I'm joking. I'm just being difficult. Okay, right. Question 3 for Vivid. Okay. Question 3. What rank is above Diamond 3? What rank is above Diamond 3? Is it Plat 1, Elite, or Champion? This is one of those ones you're like, oh no. Oh no.
It's not Plat. Brody's crossing his fingers right now, hoping that I get this wrong. I think it's champion. I'm pretty sure it's champion.
Final answer?
Yeah.
What would you have said, the roadie?
It's elite.
No,
It is elite. It's elite, dude. It's elite. Oh, let's
Yes.
go. Okay.
Oh, staying alive.
This
no.
is switched it up. This is great. Okay. I feel bad for being excited, but it makes things interesting, so I'm excited. Right, as I'm sure all the listeners, watchers are at home as well. Right, Rody, this is to tie things up for the tiebreaker question. Okay, what rank do you need to compete in Friday's Duo Cash Cup? So, multiple choice question.
Ooh.
What rank do you need to compete in Friday's Duo Cash Cup? Gold 1, Platinum 1, or Diamond 1?
Oh goodness. Okay, it's either gold 1 or platinum 1. I'm going to lock platinum 1.
Are you 100% Platinum 1?
No, I'm not.
Well, I'm going to ask Vivid. Vivid, what would you have gone for?
I think it's Platinum 1 because I'm pretty sure the Eval Cup was Platinum 1, so I think he's correct.
Rody, sticking with it?
Well, now you're making me doubt it. But
No,
yes,
I'm okay.
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it.
The correct answer is Gold 1.
No.
It's Gold 1.
Really?
No, it's Gold 1,
they-
dude.
Wow.
That must
Do you
have
know what?
changed this season.
I'm actually
Do you know what?
surprised.
Hey, do you know what? Fantastic though, because and if you are Gold 1, listening, watching right now, if that's you, go join in. You can absolutely do so on Friday's Duo Cash Cup. Do you guys want to do? I mean, obviously we've got Vivid there has taken the win there with 2-1. But do you want a multiple choice question anyway, just for fun, just for funsies?
Let's do
just
it.
for funsies.
Sure.
Okay, right. How many stink flowers are there on the map in total? How many stink flowers are there? And there is an answer here. Vivid, Rody, I'll come to you first, Vivid. There's no multiple choice here. It's a question. Just how many do you think there are on the map?
82.
Okay,
It's a
big shout out
random
to.
guess.
So whoever's closer, right? Or I guess we're just trying to get okay.
Wins, yeah.
82. I'm going to go with 44.
44 versus 82. Well, the correct answer, and I don't know what you guys think at home, but the correct answer, one of our players got incredibly close here, like super duper close. And that person was Vivid. The answer is 90. The answer is 90. There is 90. 90 stink flowers on the map. But that was right. 82 is a good guess, though. Holy moly, that's only 8 away. That's ridiculously good. But well done, you two. That was great. That was real fun. And Vivid takes this one, but absolutely fantastic to see unfold there as well there. But that is our quiz, our Chapter 4 season quiz. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And there's lots more to get excited about coming your way. Multiple episodes down the way, the drop spot. We love to do it here on the show and love it from Vivid and from Rody as well here. Right, we must talk lots more though about other things like such as Rody being here, our star guest of the week here alongside us here, Vivid, a content creating behemoth. Rody, it's great to have you here. Let's talk about comp related content as well, because ultimately you have to be, presumably, unbelievably good at the game to create content which is comp based. Tell us about how the whole thing started though. What was your entry point into starting to make video content around comp?
Yeah, so I used to do tips and tricks. That's how I started. And when you do tips and tricks, and I was in the controller space as well, still am to this day, but you eventually start getting questions of like, well, how would he do in comp? He's giving us these tips and tricks. So how would he actually do in a tournament? So after receiving so many comments over a long period of time about that, I decided to give it a go. I had played the World Cup casually, but I hadn't committed to doing content on comp really until the Booga Cup came up. And it looked like a really fun tournament. I think it was a 12-game format in the Open, so I knew I'd get plenty of content for the video. And that video just took off for me. And I decided, let's commit some more time to comp, and I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, it's been a great time.
Because I mean, for me personally as well, like watching your videos, you can see you're really enjoying making the content as well. Like you have a lot of challenge based like video content too. So for me, I'm always I can see, knowing you as well, I can see that you're excited to be taking on the challenge, thinking I actually want to prove to myself that I can do this thing.
Yes, yeah. So as if Fortnite comp wasn't challenging enough already, I like to throw challenges on top of it. So, I'm sure Adam, from watching some of these incredible pro players play the game. it can be a little not overwhelming at times, but you just see what they do and you can't even almost comprehend it. So I try to bridge that gap with my content of showing somebody I'm above average at the game. I finished. I don't want to brag too much, but in the
Oh,
PlayStation
brag,
Cup,
brag, brag, Rody.
I 115th. Okay, that's
Hey!
not too bad. I almost made finals. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think I give a nice little bridge and I try to tell stories about the tournament. So like this happened, I explain mechanics like Storm Surge from the player perspective, and I really just try to make the videos to where someone who's played Fortnite once could understand it.
Yeah, because I guess you've taken it on yourself as well to somewhat educate people who might be brand new to the game or kind of, as you mentioned, like Storm Surge. Like there are certain elements of Fortnite sometimes, like in the side of things, where it might go over someone's head who is brand new, who thinks, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. So I guess having yourself there who can kind of showcase kind of the best bits of what comp can offer, it makes a huge difference to your community as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I made a 40-minute video one time fully going through a finals lobby and the Storm Surge and all this, thinking no one, I was like, I don't know how interested the casual Fortnite watcher will be in this. And they loved it. I was so surprised that they were like, this finally makes sense. I didn't know before people boxed up mid zone getting Storm Surge tags. I didn't really know what they were doing, but now I do. So I really like making that type of content. I think I do, like you said, I inform people a little bit, but I try to do it in a more fun way rather than just, hey guys, here's what Storm Surge is. I try to tell it with a story, in the context of the tournament.
Yeah, one video I was watching earlier on is obviously we had a ranked reset recently, and I was watching you go from bronze all the way to Unreal, kind of watching that journey. So I think it was a 24-hour period you set yourself as well. I mean, to walk us through that kind of thing as well. Like you put yourself a challenge like that, which is going to be a grind. It's going to be tricky, but how was that, for instance? It ranked as well. Adds a whole new dimension because the lobbies are stacked. There's certain different ranks you have there. How was it for you?
Yeah, so personally, the ranked has me so excited just as a general game mode because, in my opinion, it does what I was just talking about. It bridges casuals to the competitive scene, which for me, for the longevity of Fortnite and just the scene's health overall, I love it. I love what Epic's doing with that. And so to celebrate that, when ranked first came out, now we have the reset. I decided to do a 24-hour stream, see how far I could get in the rank system, and it was surprisingly, I got to the end of the 24 hours and I think I may have had more energy than at the start. So that's a good sign that it was a really good time.
No, really good time. I mean, I often wonder, creating so much, so many different, videos about different areas of comp as mentioned there. Where do you kind of come up with all the ideas? They're kind of like a giant board there and a piece of chalk, and you're just constantly kind of mind mapping how you're going to do things, or how do you kind of tend to come up with these things?
Yeah, so you find inspiration in weird ways sometimes with content creation. Sometimes it's really easy. Like Fortnite will host a tournament and it's like the idea just comes like that. But, for the European PlayStation Cup, I decided to use a dartboard of the Fortnite map to choose my drop for each game. So that's that type of stuff,
Nice.
Yeah. So I try to come up with ideas where, if somebody saw that thumbnail of the dartboard and the Fortnite map, they might be like, he did that in a tournament. I got to check this out. So yeah, that's kind of what goes into it.
Is that how you choose your POIs as well, Vivid? When it comes to competing at the World Cup, you just went full on. Let's just throw darts and see what happens.
You know what's funny, actually? Funny story. I dive into a little bit of Vivid history right now. During one of the weeks, I think the week that I actually qualified for World Cup, I basically would just float, and then just go wherever I saw like the least amount of people going. I didn't really have like a set drop spot, so there was actually some randomness to it. But I usually when a new season comes out, I like to find something a little niche that I like about it. Like for example, this season, I like to go over towards the NPC that sells the Purple Havoc pump shotgun, so that way I can get that every game.
Okay, Rody, I mean, same kind of question to you as well. Like, what would be your kind of, I guess a lot of people ask you about, getting into kind of content creation as well here. When it comes to Fortnite, if you're kind of starting out in the kind of competitive kind of area, what be your kind of like your tips and tricks going way back to the beginning where it all started for you, tips and tricks here? What would be your kind of introduction to like, new players trying to get involved?
Yeah, Vivid pointed out a strategy that I did not know players at his level had tried out as well. Because I do that float strat a lot, where you fly in, you see, you're like, okay, no one's going over there. That's uncontested. Let me go over. I get my free loot, and then I get to play the game. And that's perfect, especially for new players. When players of Vivid skill level do it, they're just guaranteed to do really well. But it gets that experience, because I think the hardest thing getting into Fortnite competitive is it seems like there's so many layers to it. So the hardest thing is the nerves at first. So just, playing out the competitive games, making it to some end games, you start getting rid of those nerves, you start getting used to it, and then that's when you can really start to learn the game.
There's so
Yeah.
much, right? Like we're talking about like off spawn situation right now. Like first of all, I mean, it all starts with picking a drop spot. You have to kind of like find something that kind of like fits your play style. What do you think is worth fighting for? Essential location, more loot. There's so much that goes into it. And then like Rody mentioned, like even after that, then you have to learn every single part of the game, early, mid, and late game. There's actually so much that goes into being a professional Fortnite player and just competing in general. So shout out to everybody that does it.
Shout out to anyone who's ever played Fortnite ever. It's just layer upon layer. You're all amazing. Layer upon layer upon layer. That's what it's all about here. But yeah, fascinating hearing from you both as well about how to get into the combat side of things. And if you guys are all out there, make sure to jump in as and when you can, be it ranked mode or other kind of tournaments that spring up. Make sure to try and get involved as much as possible here. Speaking of recent cups as well, the PlayStation Cup happened recently. We talked about this at the top of the show here. First tournament of the season here. Vivid, from your perspective, how did things go? I mean, it seemed like it was really well received.
Oh, it was an absolute blast to tune in and watch. I mean, first and foremost, we have to tip our hats to the actual winners. We had Darts and Meef winning over on NA, so shout out to them. And then Lewis and Gordet winning over on EU. All those players played absolutely phenomenally. But I just want to give a big shout out to the format in general, right? Of course, we have the normal point system going on, eliminations, placement. But since this was the first official tournament of the season, we had in that new little catch where the capture point on Rift Island was actually worth points. So I saw so many strategies kind of based around go ahead and trying to claim that. A bunch of people waiting in Storm, taking the 1v1 for it. A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, the point, I had the luxury of getting to play the PlayStation Cup, and if you were anywhere 300 meters within the island, you would just hear rift after rift after rift of people going up there and just battling it out for those 15 points. It's almost like it really is almost like a different win. Like if you win the point, it's almost like a win in that game. So it's really exciting. It brings that middle of the game that sometimes might be a little slower than the end of the game, a ton of excitement.
When you're competing as well there, Rody, are you coming into obviously a new season? We've talked about some of the different elements of Chapter 4, Season 3, and the kind of the jungle biome and such, and weaponry and things. Did you change? I mean, is it like a core strat you would kind of employ into any of those cups, like that? You mentioned the floating aspect, and that's how you kind of roll sometimes. But is it obviously a brand new kind of season? Things are a bit different, but is it like a core strat you always tend to have going into these things?
Yeah, so I knew I made a drop map right away or basically a map of where all the little temple rifts were right away. And so using those, I would plan my rotates every single time to get on what side of the zone I thought the next zone was going to. And then I would just stay there and just relax until 5th, 6th zone. And then that's when the game would pick back up. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of strats and used the jungle to my advantage, which I think we'll see a lot of players do this season.
Wow. There you go. You have to map out some of your rotations and just kind of like adapt on the fly based on where the zone is going. That's pretty smart, right? We actually see a lot of the high level competitive players kind of take actual like pieces of paper, like printed out maps of like where they are going to drop to make sure they get like the best job. So we could maybe see like something like that employed as well.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I mean, I think that's what's always fascinating, is the way that the pros kind of approach new seasons, new meta, whatever it might be, and how they kind of adapt, as you've always mentioned as well. They, consistency. There's so many factors to take into consideration here as well. But I think Rody, with the likes of the PlayStation Cup, lots more coming our way of different kind of cups opportunities for players to get involved with, and it seems like the players themselves as well seem like really excited about what is on the horizon too.
Yes, yeah. I personally this might not sit well with Vivid as a former pro, but
Oh, boy.
I love solos in a competitive format because they give a great pathway for new players to kind of break into the scene, but also it's great for content as well. So, as a content creator, I'm a little
Obviously.
biased there. You're right, right. You don't have to find a teammate. You don't have to find two teammates if it's trios. So I really do like what, Fortnite's doing with the PlayStation Cup. And I think it's providing a lot of new players opportunities to get into comp.
So I'll just clear the slate here. Okay. I definitely outperformed like any other game mode actually in solos. Like the best I performed 100% was actually in solos. So I love solos.
And there we go.
There we go. Okay.
Solos.
Not biased
Ambassadors.
at all, though.
Yeah, solos ambassadors right here, loving it, and I hope you guys are enjoying equally as much here as well. But yeah, absolutely well played. GGs to our competitors recently in the PlayStation Cup here. But let's talk about obviously in-person events as well. Mentioned again at the very beginning there, Red Bull contested featuring Fortnite. I mean Vico, Vico, such a ball of energy. Is this young person who is just so great to see an overall victory royale as well, Vivid. Please, it seemed like a great in-person event that everyone once again fully embraced.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to tune in and watch. Big shout out to everybody that was a part of the broadcast as well. I think the show ran for like 8 hours for 8 games, which is like way longer than it usually takes, but they kept everybody entertained and in check and kept the show rolling. So shout out to them. But yeah, like you mentioned, right? Vico, and we were just talking about solos. This was a solo event. And I want to give a big shout out to Vico again because he didn't have the greatest FNCS last season, didn't actually make grand finals, but the bounce back to actually go ahead and take this event, take the championship home. I mean, it's got to feel so good for him. I saw some tears coming out on the end shot when he realized that he had won it. And Rudy, I mean, it came down to the last game.
Quite literally, he did it in the best possible fashion for Fortnite, just winning not only the tournament but the last game too. And just watching that, there were moments where it seemed like he wasn't going to win the game. Then he just stayed calm, collected. He had Storm right on him. Didn't matter. Picked up eliminations to stay in the game, and he ended up winning the entire thing. It was amazing. And then the emotions afterwards, like you mentioned, incredible.
I mean, gut-wrenching for the players have to go through all of that getting to the end to know it so much depends on that last game. But for us as a spectators as well, I'd love to see it. I mean, you could just see there's so much rise at those moments. And, we talk about like rising stars, players coming through all the time. And now that Vico has won an in-person event like this, would you still consider him a rising star? But do you think that kind of cements his place now in the kind of the Fortnite repertoire of winners, champions, where you can acknowledge that it's not necessarily a rising star anymore? It's a solid player who you hope to see go onwards and upwards from here.
Oh, definitely has solidified himself as, a very top contender when it comes to professional players. And I think he's actually been one for quite some time now. Didn't actually probably even need this championship to be considered one. I mean, he's been one of the best mechanical players on the EU region for a very long time now. Just hasn't been able to really find the duo that meshes well with him. I know he has a new duo coming in to this FNCS Major number 3. So I'm excited to see if this is the one that ends up working out very, very well for him. But nonetheless, like I mentioned, one of the best mechanical players on the region for sure.
Yeah, as Vivid said, anybody who really follows the EU competitive scene, they know who Vico is. But in my opinion, this was the breakout performance that pushes him out to everybody else. And I remember Venno having his performance in solos as well. So it's really cool to see Vico do it here in this fashion, especially at an in-person event. So yeah, he is here. He is here.
Yeah, he has landed. He absolutely has. The Eagle has landed. Speaking of, kind of breakout performances, not a breakout necessarily, but performance after performance after performance is Malabuka and Thomas. DreamHack Sweden, won Dallas, win Sweden. I mean, this duo, we know them as players that have been around the block. They've done incredible things in the competitive space, but they are such a force to reckon with right now, Vivid.
I mean, we know their names from, FNCS, right? The duo already qualified for global championships, placed very, very well last season in FNCS, even whilst they were contested. They have so much respect on the region that they were pretty much getting Rift Island, which granted them those Pulse rifles last season pretty much for free whenever they wanted them. But they're not even limited to just one game mode. Hopping over to these DreamHack events, like you are mentioning, winning them back to back on a completely different game mode in Zero Build. I mean, and then not to mention the in person effect as well, right? Like, I mean, you're traveling for these events, you have jet lag, you're going all over the world. The desk height is different, you're sitting in a different chair. Like, none of that seems to be affecting this duo, and it is scary.
Right. I think it's pretty safe to say Malabuka and Thomas are two of the best in-person event players in the entire world, and online as well. Maybe just two of the best players in the world. Right. Yeah, for everything. But it's ridiculous seeing what they do. And now with, potentially you getting 15 points for the island as well, that you got to think that's going to be great for them this season. And, it's been awesome watching them dominate at these events, and it almost seems like they're playing a different game.
Yeah, I mean, EU, Fortnite competitively as well. Like, I mean, all different regions are incredibly exciting. But with Queasy and Veno and other teams, Taste and other players that are kind of right there as well, competing against them, it makes it really exciting for us to watch as fans as well. Just great to see kind of so many different duos going up, trying to be the best of the best all the time. And other team players and teams to qualify, the duos as well, going through to Gamers 8 later this year as well. We've got like Anas and Pink, Blake and Cease, Queasy and Veno. Again, as I mentioned, big duos who are absolutely capable of going the distance here, Vivid, and it really sets up a great kind of Q3-4 going through the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love the fact that you kind of mentioned that these DreamHacks that we were talking about kind of worked as a qualification system to another in-person event later on this year, which is where we'll see like a big clash of a lot of these players. But let's not forget, right? Last year, Malabuka, won a very similar event, right? So he's no stranger to actually winning these types of events. So it'll be exciting to actually see how that unfolds, especially considering the hot streak that him and Thomas are on right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with the qualifiers for this event being Zero Build, we're going to see some new faces as well at the big final tournament. So I'm really excited to see how that all plays out. But as we've harped on here today, Thomas and Malabuka are definitely going to be the duo to watch out for.
They really, really are. I'm excited, lads. I'm very excited about all that's to come our way. We must close the show very shortly, but very quickly, both of you, what are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the ranked grind, Major 3, last chance qualifiers? What is on the calendar, the Fortnite competitive calendar you're most looking forward to? Vivid, kicking off with you.
I mean, for me, it's got to be Major 3 and that last chance qualifier, right? Because after those events are done, guess what? We have globals that will be solidified. We will know who is going to be competing at that event, right? And that just sets us up so well for that. I can't wait to get to that in-person event and go and experience it again. So yeah, excited to see that. And then, of course, FNCS, it's always fun. It's a whole new season. What's going to be the meta? How are the players going to adapt? Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think everybody should be excited for Major 3 and also, the end of the year Major, which is going to be awesome. But I am especially excited for Ranked Season 0 to play out the rest of the way, and then Season 1 on the horizon, because I think, Epic's got a lot of improvements cooked up. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. And I think it's going to be the best possible way for casuals and everybody to start connecting with comp.
All right. Love it. Thank you so much, fellas. It's been amazing. This was so much fun here today. Have you guys enjoyed watching or listening wherever you are in the world? Very quickly, Vivid, where can we find you online firstly? Then Brody, Vivid, you first.
You can find me on Twitter at VividFN, and usually on the Fortnite competitive broadcast, breaking down all the FNCS action.
You can find me, Brody Bros, on YouTube, and just check out a video sometime.
Yeah, we absolutely will. You find me, Adam Savage, on Twitter and the like as well. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Drop Spot. But Chapter 4, Season 3 has kicked off, and it is wilds out there. Trust us. We look forward to seeing you online out there very, very soon. Take care.